Welcome, my dear viewers, to Dreadful Visions, where darkness meets reality. Today we delve deep into the chilling realm of true school lockdown stories, whispered in hushed tones by those who have experienced the unthinkable. As I recount these bone-chilling tales, imagine yourself trapped within the confines of an educational institution, your heart pounding, and your mind gripped by the unknown. From haunting encounters to unexplained phenomena, prepare yourself for a journey that will send shivers down your spine. Buckle up, my friends, for we are about to unlock the door to the sinister secrets hidden within the walls of education. Whispers of the Forgotten. I remember that day vividly. It was a gloomy Tuesday afternoon, and the air in the school was filled with an unnerving tension. Rumors had been circulating about strange occurrences, and the faculty seemed on edge. Little did I know, I was about to become part of a nightmarish tale. As the final bell rang, signaling the end of classes, I made my way to the locker to grab my jacket. The hallways were eerily quiet, with a sense of foreboding hanging in the air. A sudden announcement blared through the speakers, freezing me in place. Attention students and staff, we are now in a full lockdown. Please proceed to your designated safe areas immediately. Confusion and panic gripped the students as we rushed to follow the lockdown protocols. Teachers ushered us into classrooms, locking the doors behind us. Fear painted the faces of my classmates, and a knot tightened in my stomach. What could be happening? Time dragged on, minutes feeling like hours as we huddled together, praying for safety. The silence was deafening, broken only by the occasional muffled whispers. Suddenly, a shrill scream pierced the stillness, echoing down the hallways, sending a chilling wave through us all. Fear turned into raw terror as we realized the scream came from one of our own, trapped somewhere in the school. The teacher's face paled, her hands trembling as she tried to keep calm. We could hear faint footsteps approaching, growing louder with each passing second. Panic spread like wildfire, eyes darting around the room, searching for an escape that did not exist. The door rattled violently, as if something was trying to break in. Tears streamed down my face as I clung to the desperate hope that this was all just a twisted prank. But as the door burst open, my hope shattered like glass. A figure, distorted and grotesque, stepped into the room. Its eyes glowed with an otherworldly light, sending a primal fear coursing through my veins. The creature's presence alone seemed to suffocate us, draining the air of any hope or courage. With a sickening grin, it began to move toward us, each step leaving a trail of darkness in its wake. I could see the despair etched on my classmates' faces, their eyes filled with resignation. It was as if we had been trapped in a nightmare from which there was no escape. Just as the creature loomed over us, ready to claim its prey, the emergency alarms blared, piercing through the tension. The sound seemed to weaken the creature momentarily, causing it to falter. Seizing the opportunity, our teacher grabbed a fire extinguisher and swung it with all her might, connecting with the creature's head. It recoiled, letting out an otherworldly screech, and disappeared into thin air. Relief washed over us, mingling with the lingering fear. We stumbled out of the classroom, clutching onto each other, trying to comprehend the horrors we had just witnessed. The once familiar halls were now a twisted labyrinth, our sanctuary turned into a nightmare. As we made our way toward the exit, the building seemed to pulsate with a malevolent energy. Shadows danced and whispered along the walls, and the air grew colder, seeping into our bones. It was as if the school itself had become a living, breathing entity. When we finally reached the main entrance, we found ourselves trapped. The doors were sealed shut and the windows were barred, leaving us no way to escape. Panic set in once again, the realization sinking in that we were trapped in this nightmare. Days turned into nights, and we lost all sense of time. Hunger gnawed at our stomachs, and exhaustion weighed heavy on our bodies. But the most terrifying part was the feeling of being watched. Every corner, every shadow held unseen eyes, observing our every move. Whispers echoed through the halls, their voices filled with malice and torment. Ghostly figures flitted in and out of sight, their ethereal presence a constant reminder of our entrapment. The school had become a prison, and we were its unwilling inmates. And so we remain, forever haunted by the horrors of that day. The world outside has forgotten us, but the school remembers. It thirsts for our fear, relishing in the darkness it has cultivated. Our screams go unheard, drowned in the eerie silence that envelops this forsaken place. If you ever find yourself near that school, beware. The spirits of those lost souls still roam the halls, desperate for release. And if you hear the faint sound of a bell tolling, run. Run as fast as you can, for that is the toll of the dreadful visions that haunt our shattered lives. Echoes of sorrow. The old abandoned school sat at the edge of town, its crumbling facade a stark reminder of forgotten memories. Curiosity gripped me as I stepped through the decaying doors, the air heavy with dust and a sense of melancholy. The hallways echoed with my footsteps, each one carrying me deeper into the heart of the abandoned building. As I explored, the atmosphere grew increasingly eerie. Faded chalk drawings adorned the walls, frozen in time, their vibrant colors now muted with age. A sense of unease settled in my gut, but my curiosity pushed me forward. I wandered into a classroom frozen in time, desks strewn with yellowed papers and textbooks coated in a thick layer of dust. The sight stirred memories of long-lost students and their unfulfilled dreams. In the distance, I heard the faint sound of footsteps, echoing through the empty corridors. My heart quickened, and I followed the sound, drawn to the mystery that lay ahead. As I approached a closed door, a shiver ran down my spine, the door seemingly beckoning me inside. I turned the rusty knob and the door creaked open, revealing a hidden staircase leading down into darkness. With trepidation, I descended into the depths, my footsteps muffled by the stale air. The faint glow of a flickering light guided me forward. As I reached the bottom, I found myself in a vast underground chamber, lit only by dim, wavering torches. The walls were adorned with intricate symbols and strange, unsettling artwork. The air crackled with an electric energy, and an indescribable presence filled the room. In the center of the chamber, I saw a pedestal with an ancient tome resting upon it. My hands trembled as I reached out to touch its worn leather cover. As I opened it, the words on the pages seemed to come alive, whispering secrets long forgotten. In that moment, the ground trembled beneath my feet, and a deep rumbling resonated through the chamber. Shadows danced on the walls, morphing into monstrous forms. Panic surged within me as I realized I had awakened something ancient and malevolent. Dark figures emerged from the shadows, their eyes gleaming with an otherworldly light. They surrounded me, their presence suffocating. I felt a searing pain in my mind as they delved into my thoughts, extracting fragments of my deepest fears. They spoke, their voices a chilling chorus. "We are the keepers of this cursed school, guardians of the forbidden knowledge within. You have trespassed upon sacred ground, and now you shall pay the price." In a desperate attempt to escape, I ran toward the stairs, but the figures moved with unnatural speed, cutting off my path. Trapped and defenseless, I prepared for the worst, awaiting my inevitable fate. But as the figures closed in, the ground trembled once again. The walls cracked, and beams of blinding light pierced through the darkness, striking the figures and banishing them in an explosion of ethereal energy. A voice filled the chamber, resonating with both power and sorrow. "The time has come to end this cycle of darkness. Rise, child of curiosity, and let the light guide your path." I followed the voice, stumbling back up the stairs and out of the abandoned school. As I emerged into the daylight, the building crumbled behind me, its secrets buried once more. Since that day, the town has prospered, its residents free from the haunting presence that plagued them for generations. The abandoned school now stands as a testament to the power of curiosity and the importance of heeding the warnings of the past. And as for me, I carry the weight of that encounter, forever changed by the forbidden knowledge I glimpsed. The memory serves as a reminder that some mysteries are best left undisturbed, their answers forever locked away in the depths of forgotten places. Candles of Redemption. The small town of Ravenwood nestled among towering trees, its streets lined with quaint houses and a sense of peaceful isolation. But beneath the serene facade, whispers of a haunting echoed through the community. Legend spoke of an old schoolhouse tucked away at the edge of town, said to be cursed by a vengeful spirit. Intrigued by the tales, I decided to investigate the truth behind the rumors that shrouded the abandoned building. As dusk settled, casting long shadows over Ravenwood, I ventured toward the schoolhouse. Its weathered exterior stood in stark contrast to the darkening sky. The wind whispered eerie melodies, as if warning me to turn back. Undeterred, I pushed open the creaking door, revealing a desolate hallway bathed in moonlight. The air grew colder as I cautiously made my way through the dilapidated corridors. The faint scent of musty books and decay lingered, evoking memories of forgotten knowledge. I stepped into a classroom frozen in time, its desks covered in a thin layer of dust. Moonbeams filtered through cracked windows, casting ethereal patterns on the floor. The silence was palpable, broken only by the rustle of papers disturbed by an unseen presence. Suddenly, a whisper carried on the wind, barely audible yet chilling to the core. Goosebumps prickled on my skin as I strained to listen. The voice grew clearer, a mournful lamentation that spoke of lost dreams and broken promises. Compelled to uncover the source of the sorrowful cries, I followed the voice, tracing it to a hidden staircase leading down into darkness. With each step, the air grew heavier, as if burdened by the weight of forgotten memories. In the depths below, I entered a subterranean chamber adorned with symbols and relics of a forgotten era. The flickering light of candles danced upon the walls, casting macabre shadows that seemed to writhe with life. A sense of trepidation filled the chamber, yet curiosity urged me forward. In the heart of the room stood an ornate pedestal, upon which rested a worn, leather-bound journal. Its pages whispered tales of tragedy and unfinished narratives, penned by souls long departed. With trembling hands, I opened the journal, unleashing a surge of spectral energy that filled the chamber. Phantoms materialized, their translucent forms carrying the weight of their unresolved pasts. They shared their stories, recounting the anguish that had bound them to the schoolhouse. Their presence evoked empathy within me, a desire to bring peace to their tormented souls. Driven by compassion, I embarked on a journey to uncover the truth buried within the town's history. I combed through archives and listened to the tales of elderly residents, piecing together fragments of the schoolhouse's haunted past. Guided by the spirit's whispers, I unearthed a hidden tragedy, a fire that had claimed the lives of several students decades ago. Their restless souls remained trapped within the schoolhouse, seeking solace and closure. Armed with this newfound knowledge, I gathered the townsfolk, sharing the stories of the spirits who lingered in their midst. Together, we formed a bond, pledging to honor the memory of the lost children and free their souls from their eternal torment. On a moonlit night, we returned to the schoolhouse, each carrying a candle in hand. We entered the chamber, voices united in prayer and remembrance. The flickering flames cast a warm glow, dispelling the darkness that clung to the spirits. As our voices reached a crescendo, a blinding light enveloped the room. The spirits ascended, their ethereal forms dissolving into the brilliance, finding peace at last. The air filled with a sense of closure and gratitude, a collective sigh of relief echoing through the chamber. The town of Ravenwood was forever changed, its residents finding solace in knowing the troubled souls had found release. The abandoned schoolhouse became a symbol of healing and transformation, a reminder that compassion and understanding can conquer even the darkest of hauntings. And I, forever touched by the experience, carried the stories of the spirits in my heart, a testament to the power of empathy and the enduring legacy of the haunted schoolhouse of Ravenwood. And with that, we reach the end of this bone-chilling journey through the shadows of school lockdowns. The tales we've shared today are mere glimpses into the vast tapestry of horror that lurks within the walls of educational institutions. Remember, my brave viewers, Dreadful Visions will continue to bring you more spine-tingling stories from the darkest corners of existence. Subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell to stay connected with the realm of the macabre. Until next time, may your dreams be free from the dreadful visions that haunt your waking hours. Stay curious and stay terrified.